Back in the bus, we drove right to the edge of the dead city. It was late, so we found a suitable house, broke in, helped ourselves to some food, had a shower, and found some new clothing. It felt very odd and very uncomfortable wearing someone else's clothes, full well knowing they were dead, but we had no choice. In the morning we awoke and had some breakfast. Again I tried the phone, but it was completely dead. The TV too had no picture. We left this house, 3 Crescent Road, and decided to take a walk down the street before finally leaving the city. It was almost as if we were cleaning ourselves of the past week, putting on new clothes, ready to rejoin the world in the next city and explain to them what we had experienced, hoping they might also explain to us what had actually happened here. Down the street we found a place of worship. We both went inside and we were surprised when we saw 3 people standing there. A man and a woman who was heavily pregnant stood together holding hands, whilst an oldish man stood in front. Delighted to see other survivors, we rushed inside, not even considering whether indeed these were friendly, but this time we were lucky. It turned out the man and the woman were already married and were redoing their vows. The old man was a survivor they had found. He was taking the part of a witness. And Jenny and I would make up the numbers. It felt peculiar as Jenny and I sat down and watched this spectacle unfold. Here we were watching a wedding, when man and woman had died indiscriminately, and here man and woman were displaying their union, man's greatest strength, faith and love. The couple looking so happy together, I could not help reflecting on their happiness and thought of Jenny, who watched them intensively and cried many times. We had seen so much horror, to see some joy was an escape, for however little time it would last. I watched Jenny, and I wish I too could hold her hand, could be the one for her, but whilst I knew in my heart the feelings were stirring up, I did not see them from her. I felt like a young boy again, just wanting to find love, fearing rejection, not being able to speak, watching love pass me by, like the day does the night. And like the day that has gone, you can never bring it back. I looked at the woman, her stomach out. She must have been at least 8 months pregnant. I started to ponder how amazing life was, how it kept on going. Man dies, another is born, and so the cycle ever continues. How inside that little stomach was life, how from one small cell it grew and multiplied, from something that man couldn't even contemplate as life into a baby that could only scream and cry, not able to think or talk, that would have to learn all that was around it. How amazing God's creation is. How now alive I am, I see and think, breathe and feel, and yet before I was in a womb, just one single cell before it divided and life began. And when I die, a new creation, as unbelievable to me as my first, will I approach. As I pondered over man's creation, the old man came and sat by me. He didn't even introduce himself. He just stared, moaning about how his home had been destroyed by a gang of tramps. Maybe they had been the same ones who tried to strangle me. He had red hair and a wild stare in his eye. He seemed like something out of Dickens, rather than life. Look, all I'm saying is, we can stay around here all day. I got a stomach to feed, he said. I didn't dare interrupt, he continued. I haven't eaten for a good 3 hours, and if I don't eat, then I should be full of gas. I can't stand being full of gas. It's not good for you. I told the wife. I always told the wife. She never listened. Guess she won't now. I heard the words he said and expected him to go into some mournful expression, but he continued as if he had just gone to bed, as opposed, I guess, to the grave. I need my food, I tell you. If you're going to hang around here with these 2 lovers, then I'm going in alone. Not like I need them anyway. All they do is stare into each other's eyes. Nothing can be done around here staring into each other's eyes. It's not going to feed my stomach, I tell you. The 2 lovers he referred to turned around and told him gently, "Okay, let's find somewhere nice." "Somewhere nice?" he started. "There won't be somewhere nice here. It's all gone, I tell you, all gone. All we got now is bloody tin cans, baked bloody beans. It gives me gas, terrible gas." The three of them walked outside. I took hold of Jenny's hand. I deeply wanted to say something to her, to ask her if she'd ever considered remarrying, if she felt the least bit of love for me, if I could have some hope from her, maybe it would make this whole terrible mess easier to cope with. But before I could even think of how to say it, she looked at me. I felt she was just about to say the same to me as her eyes lined up with mine. But all she said is, "I know." Could it be she had the thoughts the same as I? "I know," I stuttered expectantly. "Yes, I know. They are weird, and we shouldn't go with them, but we don't have anyone else, and the company would do us good." "Oh, yes," I stumbled in as quick as I could, making her believe that that was what I had been thinking. And she took my hand and we left, and followed our three new strangers.